Welcome back to this course. We now talk about optionals, or we now illustrate optional standard deduction. So here's an illustration. You have here sales of 1.8 million, cost of sales of 600,000 pesos, and business expenses worth 400,000 pesos. The question is, how much is the standard deduction and net taxable income under each case? If the taxpayer is a resident citizen and if the taxpayer is a domestic corporation. So this illustrates the difference of how we account or how we compute for optional standard deduction between a resident citizen and or an individual and a juridical entity which or a domestic corporation. All right. So if we talk about if we are referring to resident or citizen or an individual just like you, if you're a professional or an individual doing business here in the Philippines, then you and opted to make use of OSD. You compute for OSD as 1.8 million, which is your gross sales, multiplied by 40%. So your OSD is 720,000 pesos. Thus, the net taxable income will be 1,080,000, which is 1.8 million less the optional standard deduction of 720,000 pesos. So, under OSD, and this was noted in the previous video, business expenses are not allowed to be deducted if opting to use the optional standard deduction. Okay, so that I hope that is clear. We still have some examples later on, so do not worry if you're not able to understand it fully. See you in the next lecture.